Welcome back to the channel. I have been waiting for a while to do this video because I have now been monetized a year and maybe a week and a half. So it's time to talk about what YouTube has paid me for the first year of monetization. We're going to look at a few things before we get there. I promise to try to keep this as short as possible, but I am going to put timestamps in the video. And if you want to just jump ahead to different parts to see what's going on, you feel free to do that. So let me just stop here for a minute to remind you that this video is being made in partnership with Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile is built on the nation's largest 5G network. And it took me a while to sort of get up the courage to jump off the old Verizon train I'd been on for years, but once I did, I have never looked back. Mint Mobile has plans starting as low as $15 a month for new subscribers. That offer is 85% less than what I was paying for my Verizon plan. And using the eSIM option, which I highly recommend if your phone qualifies, you can make the switch in less than 15 minutes. Now, I'm on the unlimited data plan, but depending on your current usage, you might get by with an even less expensive plan than mine. And I love my Mint Mobile plan so much, I've already paid for the next 12 months. And with my Inc. Business Preferred card, I get 3 times points on office expenses like phone plans. And the entire 12-month total was about the same as 3 months on Verizon. As a retiree, I'm always looking for ways to save money without sacrificing quality. And Mint Mobile has done that for me. And if you want to try it out, you'll find a link in the description below. TryMintMobile.com/thenewretiredme. And if you do sign up, I get a small amount that goes to help support this channel. And as I've said before, all monies made through links like this go into an escrow account to finance our aspiring content creator grant. That grant offers up to $500 in resources for applicants who have less than 1,000 subscribers and at least one video posted on their channel at the time they apply. We've already awarded 2 $500 grants this year, and applications will open again on June 3rd of 2025. And I'd like to thank Mint Mobile for reaching out and offering this partnership. Now let's get back to the video. Now I'm going to follow along here with some slides that I've put together from YouTube Studio Analytics. And I don't know, as I'm making this video, I'm not really sure how I'm going to edit it all together, if I'm going to stay on the screen in a little tiny corner, or if I'm going to disappear. Just work with me here. We'll see what happens at the end. The first thing I wanted to look at was the content as far as the most viewed content. Now, we've talked about this on and off without doing a deep dive, but obviously the most viewed piece of content on my channel is the viral video that started it all, which is decluttering 35 years of stuff. It now has a little over 1 million views. You can see it has, as of the time I'm recording here, almost 1,010,000 views. So it's still growing. It's still being viewed a year later. And just below that is what YouTube paid me for the first month. That type of video is very popular on YouTube, and a lot of people make them. And it's probably the only video I've ever made that I made knowing I would probably get a lot of views. I didn't think I would get 400,000 views, but it is what it is. And below that is, and I've talked about this before, this is my least favorite cooking video I've ever done, but some people have shared it out to carnivore groups, and that's on how to cook a chuck-eye steak like a ribeye. And it has, 224,000, almost 225,000 views. Not all of them positive. Been a lot of trolls on that video, and a lot of people tell me what an awful cook I am. And, I shouldn't say a lot. There's been a few, but for the most part, it's been widely received positively. And then just recently, I did a video on the dark side of minimalism, and it has now 75,000 views. So you can see, as I'm talking, you can kind of look down through there and see the kind of views it has. And also over here in the green box, you'll see how many subscribers subscribed because of this particular video. So I have 53,000 subscribers now, a little over that, and almost 24,000 of those, roughly almost half, we're looking at 45%, came from that first viral video. I owe everything on this channel to that video. I will never, probably ever, be able to repeat the success of that video on this channel. And I don't take it lightly. Those of you that came here because of that, thank you, thank you, thank you. You have made this entire journey extremely worthwhile. And then you'll see over here that, and I don't have this full screen, so sometimes I have to lean in here a little bit, but you'll see that what YouTube paid me, there were 9,000 people that subscribed because of that video, 3,000 because of the Chuck Roast video, and then, only like 800 because of the dark side of minimalism. And so you can just kind of see down through there. And what I watch on a daily basis when a new video goes out, I watch the subscriber count because sometimes it starts going down as people, that have subscribed get this new video and then they decide to leave. But then it starts to climb again. So I'm okay. Let's look at the next screen here. And this will show you sort of what the average view is. You can see that I have a little over 3 million views, and most of those have come from the browse feature on YouTube. Some have come as a result of suggested videos, and it's not a small number. And then over 100,000 because people are using search, and my video comes up positively in their search result. But over here on the side, you can kind of see that, my average video is 12 to 15 minutes. I tried to make it 10 when I started. That didn't work. So my average video is probably 12 to 15 minutes, maybe 16 minutes. And the average view duration is just over 5 minutes. Very few people watch all of a YouTube video. And I'll raise my hand and say I'm guilty of that as well. And that is, sometimes I get bored with it. Sometimes it's not what I thought it was going to be. And then sometimes, in the last 15 or 20 seconds, I kind of already learned everything I wanted to learn, and I don't need to watch the rest of the video. I click off. A lot of people do the same thing. But it'll kind of give you an idea there. And then here is a very underused attribute on my channel, which is the end screen. And I've started using it a little more. And the end screen is basically something that comes up right at the end of the video to recommend that you go to another video, or it might recommend that you go to a playlist, or it might recommend both. And the idea behind end screens is that once you have somebody's eyeballs on your video and they've watched it all, or at least skipped through to the end, maybe they want to keep watching your content. YouTube is all about keeping people in the YouTube platform. And so offering that end screen is something that I will probably start to do more of, but I haven't used it very well so far. And then on this one, just looking at geography, it's no big surprise that the vast majority, almost 75% of my viewers are in the United States. I don't think that's a shock to anybody. And then after that, in the number of views by country, it goes to Canada, then the United Kingdom, then Australia, Germany, New Zealand, Netherlands, which is why when I try to schedule a live stream, I try to schedule it at a time that meets a lot of people around the world, because I don't want to just pigeonhole myself to just United States viewers. Again, not coming as any big surprise for my channel. The largest number of people who view my content are over 45 years old and up. The vast majority are 65 and up. That's the niche market for me as far as what's going to interest people. And so, my videos on AI, for instance, don't get a lot of views from subscribers because people 65 and over aren't typically interested in that kind of video, but I'm interested in it. And, so I make them anyway. And again, no big surprise. Also, no big surprise, the vast majority of my viewers are women. Certainly the vast majority of those who comment on my videos are women. And I typically find that it is the men who I can identify by their username as a man at least, are the ones who give me the most negative comments. Women, by and large, are very kind and polite. Thank you so much. And you'll see down here that, it's a little over 63% of the total number of viewers on all the videos across my channel are women. So again, I don't take that for granted either. Now, here is something that every YouTube content creator struggles with, and that is getting people to subscribe. Now, I'm going to be honest and tell you that subscribers don't really impact my revenue, other than the fact that I now have a core group of people to give new videos to see if they're interested. But, a video pays the same amount whether I got 50,000 subscribers or 60,000 subscribers. It's going to pay based on the content of the video and the number of views that video gets, and the longer people watch the video. There's a number of factors that go in there. But I do want to get to 100,000 subscribers because I'd love to put a silver play button behind me on the wall over here. It's purely a narcissistic need on my part that, and you will see here that, roughly of the almost 3.2 million views, 2.6 million of those views come from people who have not subscribed to the channel. So, when I've got 50,000 subscribers, you would think, oh, wow, I'm going to get 50,000 views. No, sometimes I still just get 1,000 views because the people who subscribe for one type of content. They're not interested in the other. So this is a metric that I am trying to improve, but I haven't really figured all that out yet. And I just threw this up here to show you, there are all kinds of analytics that YouTube content creators can look at to try to help drive more views to their channel, to try to find more content their viewers would like to watch. And obviously, if I was just interested in generating the most number of views possible, this whole channel would be about decluttering and minimalism, and that's all I would talk about. This channel is not about that. It's about being retired. It's about me being retired. And that has a very different impact on the way people view the channel. Now, I want to go back to that viral video for just a second on decluttering 35 years of stuff and just show you a few analytics based on that video so you can kind of compare that to what's happened overall in a year. So that video with over 1 million views has obtained $4,629.86 in ad revenue. That's spread out over 12 months. But that's by far, not only the most viewed video I have, but the largest amount of money that a video has created for me. Now, this is that same video at the very end. It's 10 minutes and 15 seconds long, and at the end, there are 28% of subscribers still watching all the way to the end, and 17% who are not subscribed watch all the way to the end. Those are just interesting numbers to me. They don't mean a lot other than the fact that it's not a big percentage of people who watch the entire video. But if they gave up 5 seconds before the end, they're not in that number. And I try to keep that in mind. And this is a screenshot. You'll see my cursor here across the screen. I could, on the live view, go across here and see exactly at every 5 to 10 second mark exactly how many viewers are still watching the video. I can look at that across in real time. And I do realize, let me just throw this out here, I do realize that some of this that I'm talking about is probably not that interesting to a lot of people. But if you are a new content creator who's trying to get monetized or just now being monetized, I'm trying to show some things here that you might want to look at as the same kind of things that I'm looking at. So they're there. Again, we're still on that same video, and in the red circle, you will see, and again, this is really small for my eyes, advertisers paid $16.67 per 1,000 views. They paid YouTube that money to show their ad on my video. On the other hand, you'll see over here on the other side, in green, I made $4.59 for every 1,000 views. That's why at 1 million views, it's $4,600. Every 1,000 views is the cutoff. And so the difference between what Google pays, or what advertisers pay to Google, and what Google pays to me is pretty simple. I'm going to show you a few examples here. Advertisers pay for, they basically, they have this ad and they put it out in a pool, and they do some bids, and they say, if you've got a video on decluttering, I'm going to pay this much money. If you've got a video on cooking, I'm willing to pay this much money. If you've got a video that has something to do with tourism, I'll pay this much money. So the topic of the video, as well as the reach of the video, has some things to do with that. Now, this is my video on decluttering the kitchen again, where I did a little bit of preparing some food to cook, and then talked about decluttering things there. And you'll see here that they paid $25.65 per 1,000 views to get their ads on that video. That's quite a bit higher. And I got paid $11.17. That's almost 3 times higher per 1,000 views. But then when you look, you see that this video, it got maybe 10,000 views, so a little over 10,000. So my revenue was only $121, even though that payment to me per 1,000 views is very, very high. The video didn't get a lot of views, at least in the broad scheme of things. 10,000 views is huge for me, but we're looking at relative. Another video here is Sea Rock City. This video is a tourism kind of video, and they paid $31.46 to get their video or get their ads on this video. They paid a lot of money. And out of that, I made $16.23 for every 1,000 views. I had 1.3 thousand views. It's one of my lowest performing videos ever. Now, if you can imagine that video getting 10,000 views or even 50,000 views, you can imagine the kind of revenue that would come in. So you have to have not only the ad revenue per 1,000 views, but you also have to have the views to multiply that, and that's important. One last one. This is the one on what I would have told my 20-year-old self. Advertisers paid $11.46 to be on that video, and I earned $5 and a nickel for every 1,000 views, and I had 40,000 views. So I made $200, a lot more money than the Rock City video, but it was all based on the fact that I had a lot more views too. So these are the balancing things. That's why when I post a video, I never worry about revenue, because I have no earthly idea how to game that system. I just post it, hoping people are going to watch it, hoping people are going to like it, hoping maybe they'll watch another video in addition to the one they clicked on, and maybe they'll come back. Okay, that's all the background information that I wanted to give. Let's talk about revenue. So I'm going to start with the 12 months of revenue, and then we're going to look a little bit at just what the 7 months in 2024 has brought in so far. So my total revenue for just a little over 12 months is $19,168.80. And if you remember, that one video, decluttering 35 years of stuff, was worth about a little over $4,000. So there's a big chunk of that associated with just one video. What I want to look at, well, let's hang on. I want to look at just 2024 here for a second. Since January 1st, YouTube has paid me $8,969.68. That's less than the 6 months I made the latter part of 2023, but it also doesn't include that big, huge million-view video. I mean, as far as like the big kahuna money that came in up front. It's still being viewed, still making a little money, but it didn't have the impact it had before. So I'm on track probably maybe to make $15,000, $16,000 this year in the 12 months between January and December. I don't plan on doing a video then, so you're safe. What I do want to look at is just July, and the reason I want to look at it is this list of videos over here in the green. The number one viewed video in July and the biggest revenue producer for me in July is still that chuck roast video that's still being shared and viewed and commented on and shared some more even now. And it was not uploaded in July. Below that, again, this is really small for me, The Dark Side of Minimalism and Back to the Bedroom 1 year later. So here's the thing to remember about YouTube. If I post a video, let's say I post a video on August 1st of last year, and it, over a week or 10 days, it kind of runs its course and it's got all the major views it's going to get, but it's still going to get views every day, every week, every month, every year, for the rest of the life of my channel. So uploading content to YouTube is a lot like compounded interest. You make some money up front, but you're going to keep making money all along. So in July, so far, because, July is just past us, and 2 or 3 months from now, this may change. But in July, still, the most watched video on my channel is something I made before that on this chuck roast. And it may be that way forever. I don't know. That video still got legs. It's still going. And you'll see down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decluttering 35 years of stuff still made me $57 in July. Something I uploaded over a year ago. So these are important numbers to look at, important things to think about. My channel is doing great. It's way beyond anything I could ever have hoped or imagined. And I look at these analytics pretty much every day to see where I'm at. And I am just constantly amazed. Every day I'm amazed. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor, hit that button. Because I'm trying to get to 100,000 views, or 100,000 subscribers. That's my next major hurdle. I got a long way to go. It'll take me a long time to get there, but that's the hurdle. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the video. If you've got other questions I didn't answer here, I'll see if I can find an answer for you. We now have all of that covered. I think I'm done. We'll see you next time.